If I had to ballpark a rough date, I would have to say anywhere between February and March 2024. Just days after I made a video speculating when Xdefiant should launch, Mark Rubin published a statement last night regarding the release of Xdefiant. And I gotta say, I haven't seen a developer be this honest and transparent ever. I expect only but great things from this, so let's get into the statement and see what's been going on. At the end of July, the Xdefiant developers began the submission process for their game. The submission process involves testing their game with first parties like PlayStation and Xbox to check that their game works on their consoles and environments. Prior to submission, vigorous internal testing is done by Ubisoft's quality assurance testers and compliance teams to help identify any issues that might get flagged during the submission phase. After that, the devs spend around 2 to 3 weeks preparing and validating what they think might be the final version of the game. It then goes through 1 week of heavy testing. If it passes, it then goes to the first parties to be certified for release. First parties then take a week to get their final report together on the submission and give Ubisoft a pass or not pass with a list of must fixes for their next submission. However, by mid-August, they unfortunately got a not pass. If the game did pass, Xdefiant would have launched by the end of August. But because it didn't, Ubisoft spent around 3 to 4 weeks fixing the needed issues for its next submission, which is due in a little less than 2 weeks today. If the game passes this time, we may be looking at a mid to end September launch for Xdefiant. Although there is a chance the game may come back under a conditional pass, meaning the Xdefiant devs will have to do a day 1 patch with some final fixes to ensure compliance. If they need to do a day 1 patch, then that pushes the expected release date to early/mid-October. So with this in mind, the game could launch in no more than 7 weeks time. In the last video, I predicted that the game should release between February and March 2024 so that it doesn't clash with the launch of Modern Warfare 3. And in this statement, Mark Rubin said, "If we were following the standard rules for game releases, we would have a set date far enough in advance with enough buffer to have a confident release date." So, my Q1 2024 prediction could have been spot on. But after reading that the game could launch as late as mid-October, I'm a little concerned for the game's future. I have no doubts the game will release with as minimal bugs and issues as possible, but how many people will switch over to Call of Duty when Modern Warfare 3 launches a few weeks later? Towards the end, Mark Rubin concludes the statements by saying, "We set out since the concept of this game to be more transparent with our community and to listen to our players and act on their feedback. We've even shown that we will add features in the middle of development based on player requests. Map voting, which is in now, and a search and destroy like mode that is coming later are 2 examples of this. We want this to be your game." You see, it's things like this that makes Mark Rubin one of the most beloved FPS developers in the community. And I also think this is what could set apart Xdefiant from Call of Duty. Sure, Call of Duty brings back fan favourite maps and weapons here and there, but nowadays it feels like it's a franchise where the developers are more so making a game they think we want, while trying to innovate the game or introduce new features that just don't work. While Mark Rubin and Xdefiant, as he quotes, wants this to be our game. Since this game was announced, Mark Rubin has been active on Twitter, asking us questions, hearing out our opinions, doing Twitter polls, and even being clear as crystal with this update. I have never seen a developer willing to be so open-minded in my life. And if you're a dedicated FPS player who likes to express your feedback and wants an opportunity to be a part of creating a perfect arcade shooter, you should be very excited for Xdefiant. Anyway, this is all that Mark Rubin has for us right now. The game will be in our hands very soon, guys, and hopefully the game could launch before Halloween. But if anything does change, I'll make sure to let you guys know. So thank you for watching. If you found this helpful and are looking forward to the release of Xdefiant, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more Xdefiant content. Most love, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.